Welcome to CEO Insights. I'm Marilyn de Guzman with Investing News Network. Our guest this episode is Marshall Koval, CEO of Luminex Resources, a precious and base metals exploration company based in Vancouver. Welcome, Marshall.
Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for having us today.
Yes, thanks for joining us. So let's start our conversation with just an overview of Luminex Resources and a high-level insights on what you'd like investors to know about the company.
Yeah, thanks. Basically, Luminex was spun out of Lumina Gold in sort of 2018. The Lumina Group was started by Ross Beatty in 2003. I've been with him through all the companies. In Lumina Gold right now, we're in Ecuador at the Condor Project. That's moved to a pre-feasibility study. And we've moved all of the other assets we had in Ecuador into Luminex. And those include our primary flagship asset, the Condor Project, which we're operating. We have a joint venture with Anglo American on a copper project called Pegasus that they're operating. And then we have a joint venture with Jogmec on the Orchideus project, which is another copper porphyry project that we're operating. And recently we've found a new zone at the Condor Project. There's 6 million ounces of gold in the resource at the Condor Project. We made a new discovery of the Cuyes West zone, which is a high-grade underground target. And then we've got a new breccia discovery in that area as well that we can talk about a bit more.
Right. So let's talk about the Condor Project as the project that you're focusing on right now. Can you give us a little bit more detail about those earning agreements? What do they entail, and what does it mean for the company?
Okay, so I'll start first with the Condor Project itself. In 2021, we put out a PEA, and that PEA had a 187,000 ounce per year production over 12 years, and that was a 25,000 ton per day project, of which 2,500 tons per day came from an underground target called the Camp Zone, and the rest was from open pit. And that had an initial capital cost of $600 million. Subsequent to that PEA, we made another high-grade underground discovery, the highest grade yet for the project, at a zone called Cuyes West, where we've had several intercepts of between 2 to 10 meters of 5, 10, 15 grams per ton over those sort of intervals. So we've drilled, we're on hole number 30 now. We put out press release through hole number 26. And we've got about 3,000 more meters we're drilling at this Cuyes West structure. So the idea there would be to rescope a PEA to include the Camp Zone underground, which had about 600,000 ounces. And we hope to get close to 1 million ounces out of this Cuyes West. Then we would rescope the project to be sort of 1.5 million ounces roughly of underground in 2 underground operations. Then we would bring the open pit in later to give us a lower capital cost project, higher economics. We've also recently just discovered a large breccia zone while we were drilling the Cuyes West, where we've had several intercepts of over 200 meters of 1.5 gram per ton material adjacent to the Cuyes West. So we're continuing to drill there. So we're really excited about the recent drill results. I'd encourage everybody to look at the last couple of news releases by the company, and you'll see what I'm talking about in detail.
Well, so then following all these great high-grade results, where do you go from there?
Yeah, I think basically we're going to work on an internal resource estimate after we drill another 3,000 meters here, and we'll understand whether we update a PEA, put out a new resource estimate, or where we head there. And then part of your earlier question was the joint ventures that we have. So Anglo American can earn 60% by spending $57 million over a 7-year period. They're in the field drilling right now at our Pegasus project, the Medusa target. They planned 3,200 meters of drilling, and they're on their second hole. They're probably over 1,000 meters now. That's a large porphyry copper some minor gold in it. So we're looking forward to see how they do with that. In addition to the Medusa target, they've identified 7 other porphyry centers on the project that they'll be hopefully doing exploration and hopefully drilling. It's a very large land package. It's 3,700 hectares and 37,000 hectares, excuse me. And it looks really prospective. And then at Orchidius, we're managing that drilling for JOGMEC. We've got a 1,500-meter drill program scheduled for this year. And then we have some additional projects that we're talking to potential partners about at Kimi and Tarki, Cascas, and La Canela. So these are all primarily copper early-stage exploration targets as well.
Right. So you've, your primarily focus obviously is in gold, but based on your new recent explorations, you've seen some copper results there. What's the strategy in terms of pursuing this other, metal opportunities?
Yeah, I didn't mention this earlier at Condor. We also have a deposit called Santa Barbara, and it has about 3 million ounces of gold and 400 million pounds of copper in the resource categories right now. Well, we've started to see the copper price move up significantly, and we'll look at probably next year going back if copper hangs in there where it is in the current levels or it's been the last 6 months or so. We'll take a look at going back at Santa Barbara and trying to do some more work there, potentially look at an economic study at Santa Barbara. So we're lucky in the case of the Condor Project, it's 10,000 hectares and there's multiple targets. Right now we're focused on the Condor North area where the Camp Zone and Cuyas West and this Brecha are as a gold target, but we do have that copper at Santa Barbara that we'll look at eventually as well.
Mm-hmm. With the, I want to ask you about sort of, what's happening with the gold market, with prices, in record levels. I wonder what your thoughts are in terms of how that market performance has impacted or has translated to the resource sector. Like, are you seeing some improvements as well in terms of investments in gold?
Yeah, I think if you look at it from the junior explorer developer segment of the market where we certainly are in, the move up in the gold price up into the above 2,000 and pushing up on record highs that we saw last month or last couple of months, it really helped us. We were able to raise $12.5 million in a really down market back about 3 months ago. So we've got funding for the next year ahead of us. So obviously the gold price helped us there. Where it's moved off of those highs, it's in the upper 1900s now, which is still really good. I'm on the board of Equinox Gold, and that's been, we're a producer. We produce about 600,000 ounces of gold a year. That's really helped us there. So I think if we have continuing these levels of gold price, it should be good for the market. And hopefully we'll see, we've seen the majors and mid-tier producers move up. Hopefully we'll see that with stock in the junior developers and junior explorers.
So what can the investment community look forward to from the company for the rest of 2023?
Yeah, you'll continue to see for the rest of the year, you'll see drill results coming out from the Condor work that we're doing at the Cuyas West in this newly discovered breccia zone. You'll also see some drill results coming out from Anglo in the next several months as they continue to move through their drilling program. And then later in the year, you'll see some drill results coming out of the JOGMEC joint venture at Orchidius. So you'll see a lot of drill results is going to be the primary driver of our share price and the news that we're bringing out to the market.
Great. All the best with that, and appreciate you coming here and speaking with me.
Thanks a lot for your time, and thanks for having us today.
Thanks. And join us again next time for another engaging conversation on CEO Insights.